Hey, if I were to ask you who's the strongest anime or manga character you know, who would you think of? Some people might think Goku, the guy who can shoot laser beams and destroy planets. Or maybe even Alucard, who's nearly immortal, the closest thing to immortal I know. And he has an army of undeads who will fight for him. And then there's Zeno, who lives in the same universe as Goku. But this guy, he can literally Thanos snap universes away. Oh yeah, there's also Saitama, the Caped Baldy. He can literally one-punch every single monster in existence. For a long time now, it's been undecided who the strongest anime character is, but I think I figured out who the strongest anime character is once and for all, to end all debate. And it's from an isekai. And yes, I know, you're probably sick and tired of isekai by now, but it's from an isekai, yeah. And also, it's from a manga. And you must be thinking, wait a minute, a manga? But isn't the title of this video the strongest, most overpowered character in anime? But, clickbait. And the character I'm going to be talking about today is the protagonist of a manga called The Other World Stands No Chance Against the Power of Instant Death. His name is Yogiri Takato. At least that's how I think you pronounce his name. And in this video, I'll do my best to explain why he is the most overpowered character in all of anime. And you may or may not agree. Hey, future me here. I'm here to say I'm sorry if my audio is bad. I don't have a mic, and I know my voice is kinda cringe. Also, my editing is crap, but I'm learning. But give me some slack. This is my first video where I ever actually speak and edit. Well, thanks for listening to my excuses. Back to the video. For an isekai, the manga is actually pretty good. The basic plot of the story is he gets isekai'd to another world with his entire class. However, the thing is, he's a level 1 weakling. In fact, he's so weak, he can't even level up. However, as the title of the manga states, his ability is the power of instant death. He's like the Death Note, but better. He has the power of death, which he had in the original world before he got isekai'd to his fantasy world. His powers has no intervals, no restrictions, no gimmicks, and his power is literally instant death. He can kill anyone, any enemy, instantly, regardless of HP, defense, or speed. Even if they have infinite health, infinite defense, and they can teleport, they'd still die at any distance, regardless. He's like the living incarnation of the Death Note. And he's like the walking meme. お前はもう死んでいる. And unlike the Death Note, he doesn't need to know the name of the person. He can just kill them. He doesn't even need to know they exist. He can kill random people without knowing their face or name. Meaning, even if you're hidden from him, he can still detect you. In the manga, the main character killed an immortal being. And this immortal being had every single cell in her body destroyed, and yet still somehow came back to life. She's like perfect Cell from Dragon Ball, but better. However, the main character was able to kill the immortal being in less than a second. I'll talk more about this later. Goku is infinitely times stronger than Yogiri. But he wouldn't last a second if Yogiri wanted Goku dead. Goku would be dead the moment he decides to fight the main character. And I'll explain why. You might say you could sneak attack or kill him by surprise, Or get to him before he can even think of anything, like an assassin. But no, he can sense killing intention and bloodlust. And it's not just simply that. He can detect anything that can harm him, including non-living things. Like, if you try to shoot him from afar, he can still sense you. He has an automatic defense system. Meaning you can't kill him in his sleep, you can't sneak attack him, you can't sneak up on him, you can't try to trick him, because he can sense anything that tries to harm him, anything at all. Also, he has perfect control over his ability, meaning he can kill certain parts of your bodies, and you'd still be alive, but the part that he killed would no longer be functional. If he says half die, then half of your body would no longer be functional, and no amount of healing can fix it. And he can easily do that to any part of the body. One time, he fought an entire group of people, and he killed them all in an instant. Meaning, he can kill multiple people at once, and as far as I know, he doesn't have a limit. Also note, some of the attackers hid their faces, and the main character didn't even know their names at all, because they were random bandits. Combine that with the fact he can perfectly control his ability to target only certain people with his powers of death means you can't hold hostages around him. He has no weaknesses. Even if you try to hold hostages around him, he can just kill the attackers immediately and keep the hostages alive. And you can't indirectly attack him either. And what I mean by this is, even if you make someone else or something else attack him, but don't attack him directly yourself, he can still trace it back to you and kill you, even if you're on the opposite side of the planet. Here, I'll give 2 examples that happened in the manga. Yogiri once got attacked by an army of bugs that were controlled by this dude. And in an instant, the main character tracked the attack directly to the guy who controlled the army of bugs. And the guy who was controlling the army of bugs died in an instant without even realizing what happened. The other example is this overpowered vampire queen created an army of mindless clones of herself. They have no memories, no intelligence, just walking bombs. And they attacked randomly in the city the main character is in. These clones contain no bloodlust, no killing intent. They're not even targeting the main character. They're just randomly blowing up. What she did was no different from sending millions of bombs. But somehow, the main character was able to instantly track it back to the vampire, and bam, she drops dead. Meaning, even if you dropped nukes on Yogiri, he would still be able to track it back to whoever pressed the button to send the nukes. That's how overpowered he is. Here's a direct quote from the main character. "If he can reach me, it's only logical I can reach him as well. Whenever you try to harm someone, you risk being harmed yourself." And wow, is this quote so true, especially when you're dealing with Yogiri. And you know what? His powers get even crazier. He can kill things that aren't alive. And there are 2 things I mean by that. He can kill spirits and undeads. But he can kill inanimate objects as well. I'll give examples for both. One time he got attacked by zombie undeads. He easily killed them, easy stuff. He can also kill spirits and other things. He can kill things that aren't even bounded by life and death. One time he got attacked by another person and got trapped in a cage of extremely tough ice. He's pretty weak, so he can't break it with his physical strength. But what he did was, he killed the ice. He killed ice itself. He killed the ice. A non-living thing, an object. Meaning, even if you summon a meteor on him, he would probably be able to kill the meteor itself and destroy the meteor before it even reaches him. Even if you drop nukes on him, he would be able to destroy the nukes before it even touches him. If you shoot bullets at him, it would probably turn to ashes before it even reaches him. Here's what this monster once said. "I decide what dead is. It's alive if it's moving, and it stops when it's dead." See what I mean? He friggin' decides what life and death is. To be honest, to say his power is the power of instant death is a literal understatement. His ability is more like the power to end anything that exists in an instant. Plus the fact he can also detect anything that will harm him beforehand with perfect control. Did I mention his powers aren't affected by time barriers as well? This one's a bit hard to explain, but I'll do my best. One time there was this magical barrier that as you go deeper inside the barrier, towards the core of the barrier, time would slow down. If you shoot a bullet into it, it will slow down so much it will be frozen there for a couple millions of years. At the center of the barrier is a devil that was trapped there for thousands of years. But the main character just walks by, looks at it, instant kills it. He instant kills it through the time difference. And it gets even worse! Or better? I don't know. But apparently everything I told you till now, it's his sealed power. Typical anime trope. Yeah, He's not even at full power. This isn't even his final form, and he's not even using any effort. Who knows how insane he'd be at full power? Even now, at his steeled power, he's already basically the strongest thing that ever existed. At full power, how strong would he be? Would he be able to end existence just by thinking of it? Imagine the potentials of his ability. Imagine what he could do with it. So in this section of the video, I'll be talking about theories of his ability and what he could potentially do. But it's not for sure because it's never been clarified yet. So we know his power is death. But to say his power is death is an understatement, as I said before. Now honestly, I find his ability super fascinating. We know that his ability cannot just kill living things. It can kill other things as well. Things that aren't even alive. What if at full power, he could kill the barriers between dimensions and travel between spaces? Or teleport by deleting the space between himself and the area he wants to teleport to. Kinda like from JoJo's Part 4, where the guy uses his stand to teleport by deleting the space itself. And maybe Yogiri can do something similar like that, like deleting space. Or who knows, maybe he can delete even bits of time itself. Maybe he can kill someone in the past and change time and history itself. And who knows, maybe he could kill death itself and make someone live forever. Maybe he can bring the dead back to life by killing death. But of course, this is just a theory, an isekai theory. And also, it may come true because the light novel is way ahead and it's still ongoing. Now, let's try to put him in a fight against other OP characters, and let's try to predict what would happen if Yogiri fought other characters from other animes. Yogiri versus Zeno from Dragon Ball Super. The main character's power is instant and always kills before the enemy shows any intentions of harming the main character. And so Zeno would probably die before he can even do anything. Even if Zeno's ability was instant as well, the main character would be able to kill Zeno before Zeno could be able to move, because Yogiri would detect harm coming his way and react beforehand. Winner, Yogiri. Yogiri versus Saitama. Saitama doesn't really fight or kill humans, but assuming he does, this would be the battle. Saitama would run at light speed towards Yogiri, but Saitama would drop dead before he'd even reach Yogiri, because Yogiri's power is instant and would react to Saitama's intention to harm the main character, no matter how fast he is. Well, by now you get the point. Yogiri's insane. What can even defeat this guy anyways? Even if you time traveled, that is, if he didn't kill you before you time traveled, it wouldn't work because he had this ability as a kid as well, and he could still kill you then. By now, hopefully you can understand how overly broken this guy is. Also, please do note the strength of a character or how strong they are doesn't mean they're a better character. I'm not saying he's the best character. I'm saying he's the strongest, most overpowered character. But I know some people will still be mad because Goku and Saitama lost him. Well, thanks for watching. See ya.